Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really critical look at a joint supplement called undenatured type 2 collagen. You might see it as UC2 or UC2.
Right. And this is all based on some great material from Professor Lin. Our goal here really is to look hard at the research claims, especially the ones you see on commercial websites selling this stuff.
Exactly. It's about boosting our critical thinking, yours and ours, when we see these health myths presented online.
And there's a definite conflict, isn't there? You've got websites, run by sellers presenting these really complex biological ideas as if they're completely proven fact.
Like it's settled science, we saw this on a site claiming to be from a specialist doctor.
Which is kind of the core of what we want to unpack.
Yeah.
Why use all that complexity? Maybe to sell something.
Okay, let's get specific then. What is this commercial story? What exactly are they telling you happens when you take a UC2 pill?
Well, the narrative they spin is pretty detailed. They claim when you ingest UC2, it gets picked up in your small intestine.
By specific spots?
Yeah, structures called Pear's patches. Think of them as little immune checkpoints in your gut lining.
Okay, immune checkpoints. Then what?
Then, supposedly, this activates certain immune cells, T cells specifically. They even give them a flashy name.
Ah, the human imperial guard analogy.
That's the one. A bit dramatic, maybe.
Yeah.
These activated T cells are then meant to travel through your body.
To where? The joints.
To inflame joints, yes.
Yeah.
And once there, the claim is they release anti-inflammatory messengers. Things like IL-4, IL-10, TGF-beta.
The end game being less inflammation and maybe even cartilage repair.
That's the commercial promise. Reduce inflammation, help repair the cartilage.
But hang on, basic biology, what we've understood for ages, is that when you eat collagen, your stomach and intestines just break it down, right?
Exactly, into amino acids, the basic building blocks. It shouldn't be able to do this targeted immune thing.
So that's a huge hurdle for their story. How did the UC Pi proponents get around that?
Well, they came up with a pretty novel idea. Not proven fact, mind you, but an idea. They call it the inverse vaccine hypothesis.
Inverse vaccine. What does that even mean in this context?
Instead of provoking immunity, like a normal vaccine, the idea is that swallowing this specific collagen teaches your immune system to tolerate it.
So it stops attacking the collagen that's already in your knee joint cartilage.
That's the hypothesis.
Yeah.
It's supposed to induce immune tolerance, specifically towards type 2 collagen.
Okay, and Professor Lin had some pretty strong words about this specific hypothesis.
No, absolutely. Lin basically said, calling it just a hypothesis is, well, an affront to medicine, because it kind of flies in the face of known immunology.
But presenting it as fact.
That, according to Lin, is an insult to medicine. It crosses a line from scientific possibility into, well, misleading marketing when you state it as guaranteed.
Right. So we have this mechanism, maybe interesting theoretically, but unproven, and it's being used to sell a product. Let's shift from the theory to the actual evidence. What does the data say?
Good question. We looked at a 2021 white paper. This was put together by orthopedic experts from 7 different countries, US, Canada, Europe included.
So a serious attempt to look at the evidence. What did they find?
Well, they highlighted 3 major problems. First, they flat out said the immune effects of UC thenator are unproven.
Unproven. Okay. What else?
Second, they pointed out that we still don't actually know how much, if any, of this undenatured collagen even survives digestion to reach those Pear's patches. That still needs evaluation.
So the very first step in the proposed mechanism is questionable.
Right. And maybe the most critical point, they looked at systematic reviews of patient studies.
How did it help people's pain?
The reviews found that the studies suggesting it did help pain were based on evidence of low quality.
Low quality evidence. That's a major red flag in research. What does that mean practically?
It means you can't really trust the results. The clinical significance is limited. The white paper basically concluded we need much better, well-designed studies.
Okay, so the need for high-quality research is clear. And Professor Lin actually highlighted a very recent study that seems to fit the bill.
Yes, exactly. A randomized controlled trial, the gold standard, published just last month, September 2025. It involved 68 patients with actual knee osteoarthritis.
This sounds like the kind of study we needed. What did they do?
Simple setup. Half the patients got a supplement with UC and IGI, plus some hydrolyzed collagen. The other half got a placebo, a sugar pill. They took it for 12 weeks.
And the results. Did the UC2 work better than the placebo?
Here's the fascinating part. Both groups actually reported significant improvements in their pain and function over the 12 weeks.
Wait, the placebo group got significantly better.
Significantly better. But, and this is the key, when they compare the UC2 group directly against the placebo group,
Let me guess.
no significant difference, none. Not in pain relief, not in functional recovery, not even in how satisfied the patients felt.
So the UCT pill was basically no better than taking a sugar pill, even though both groups felt better over time.
Precisely. Which really underscores the power of the placebo effect, doesn't it?
It really does. It reminds me of that funny line from the source material. These capsules are amazing. My cough stopped just looking at the box.
Huh. Yes, that captures it perfectly. People felt better, likely because they expected to, not because the UC80 was doing anything specific biologically.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for, for us, for the listener?
I think it's caution. Be really wary when you see complex, purify-sounding mechanisms, payers patches, inverse vaccines, Imperial Guard T cells used to sell a health product.
Especially if the actual clinical evidence is weak or low quality.
Exactly. Demand high-quality, peer-reviewed clinical data showing it works in real people, not just a fancy, unproven hypothesis. In this case, UC seems to work about as well as believing it will work.
Which leads to maybe a final thought. If we see this pattern, low-quality evidence propping up supplements across the board, what's our responsibility? How deep do you, the consumer, need to dig into who funded a study or how it was designed before you trust a bold health claim that seems too good to be true?
That's the real deep dive, isn't it? Asking those critical questions yourself.